Just a little message similar to what Gerard Piqué had to say.
Always trying to stir the pot, Phil Shane.
The chef, though, is the Barcelona center back.
And Leo, as himself, was involved with a wonderful interview that you'll be able to read online. And Leo coming out and stating categorically how much he misses Cristiano Ronaldo. Classy Messi.
By the way, that sign in the background in Catalan saying, "We are your nightmare." Let's find out if this could be a dream game for Diego Lopez and company. It's 3 in the back for Rubi. Pretty much 6 in the midfield with Borja Iglesias.
Yeah.
The man up front, the Celta striker who dominated the lower divisions and is proven to be a pretty solid scorer in the top right as well. 11 goals along with 2 assists for the former Valencia and Villarreal player. Looking into the booth as VAR again in effect. Santiago Jaime, the man with the big button. Carlos del Cerro Grande, Juan Yuste, Abraham Alvarez, and Antonio Santos, the officials on site. The 210th official derby between these two. And we are underway at the new camp, Barcelona, and their familiar Blaugrana. Espanol with the ball, and a serenade of whistles for the blue and white parakeets. Jose Hernandez, Jaime Macias on our Spanish side, Phil Shane alongside Ray Hudson. It is Derby Day.
Camp Nou looking absolutely manicured here on this special day. And as you said, Phil, Espanol come sit deep, but looking for big Borja up front, and he is a top player. Oh, that's a great ball. Nicely!
And he's got help left and right.
Magic Messi!
Bursting along as
Beautiful!
Suarez tries to get the cross in, and it falls for the veteran Diego Lopez.
They see Messi saying his apologies to Rakitic. He gives it to his best pal. Beautiful support, left and right. Leo goes the left side. It looked like Rakitic made ahead. A better option for the red-hot crack at goal towards Diego Lopez, but a bright start from Messi. Iglesias up front is in real decent form. 11 goals in 27 league appearances. He'll be the lone wolf up front, but he can be a danger indeed. A wonderful player he was at Celta Vigo, and he's got better.
Of course, much of his goal-scoring prowess coming when Celta was down a division. There are some that can't cross that barrier. He's proven that he can.
That's good look at Rubi there. He saw his defense picked apart in the very early seconds of this game. That's been the problem for this team in blue and white, Phil. Defensively, they've been pretty shaky. They started out the season with such wonderful flair and pizzazz, that young man's team. And he would have been flying like a parakeet early on in the season. But Valverde just keeps on winning games. As you said, Phil, they haven't been at their most radiant, scintillating best in a lot of people's eyes, but every time the doubters start to really question it with a megaphone, Barcelona have responded and are having another phenomenal year. On course for a double, but Valencia might have to say something about that.
Out wide, Suarez. They're leaving a bit of a gap in the middle for Messi.
Oh, look at that back line of Espanol as well. It's going to take some cracking the way Rubi set them up here today. They're used to it. Of course, the rotation from left to right, and now players hugging that far side. You see Jordi Alba will be risking a little bit more to get involved, to get the insurance goal. Coutinho
stepped into the Brazil lineup in a difficult game against Panama.
Yeah.
Of course, Lionel Messi, of course, famously with a hard encounter in his return to Argentina as they lost to Venezuela, and Rosales, who right now is on defense.
Rosales was absolutely majestic in that
Played on the
game.
left side.
Well played again, Coutinho.
Arthur, actually Alba inside for Messi. Arthur in reserve. Messi putting on a display.
Oh, see you
Going
later,
for it all.
alligator. They love that. Messi sends his shadow the wrong way. You people with your fancy schmancy machines, you can see the shadow for a split second and it's gone.
Out wide, Alba.
In that interview, we're talking about Messi saying he's had some problems this season for a long time in the pubic bone area, and I had that when I was a player, Phil, and it is a nagging, awful sort of injury. Well played again. Coutinho got his footballing boots on the right legs here today by the early start.
Messi over. Wide for Semedo. The Portuguese wingback keeps it in. Finding Suarez and cleared away by Mario Hermoso. Here's Granero, another ex-Madridista.
Still got that mask on there, Rosales. The Batman.
All the way over for the 23-year-old defender, Hermoso.
But anybody that saw that game in Venezuela, and he played absolutely unbelievable, Roberto Rosales. It's a good run.
The youngster knocked down in his collision with Piqué. Referee had a good look, though. He's down grabbing his face. The whistle from the stands. Andrea Pedroso.
Good cover from Gerard Piqué. Oh,
Suarez isolated with Ronaldo. And the Brazilian picks his pocket.
the last nanosecond, Naldo. Absolutely wonderful intervention as Suarez nearly ushered the ball past him. Oh, he's in.
Chance at the top. Melendo bumped by Alba, who offers to help him back to his feet. To this point, Del Cerro letting them play. Trying to turn Semedo. He draws a nice round of applause for his defensive exploits.
It's a good start from Barcelona in the manner, and they are focused. They're not taking anything for granted. The lineup states it, but this will be one of those games. It will be physical, and here you see this is a good run, and he's well shepherded. Pedrosa, a youth product of this Espanol side. There's the 49-year-old Ruby, his 12th club. He came with Tito Villanova with the Barcelona team back in 2013. Had a little bit of a experience here in Camp Nou.
Good look at Pedrosa, as you mentioned, coming up through Espanol. His uncle, also a pretty famous footballer. Tucked back, and they'll retreat Marc Roca, the ex-Masia midfielder. This is Victor Sanchez wearing the number 4. Looking for Iglesias. Smash down.
Piqué needed to get his step ladders out there, and he did. Pulled him out of his back pocket beautifully, and a nice invading ball for Borja Iglesias there. But Piqué again stretches his 6'2" to 6'3", takes care of business.
Gerard Piqué making quite a few headlines this week for some of his extracurricular activities and his thoughts on Espanol.
A lot of it's been inflated, I think, as well, Phil. He said some of those comments towards Espanol were tongue-in-cheek, so don't be stirring it.
Out wide for Semedo. What did you feel when you were a player going into a big match, when you were a manager and your neck's on the line going into a big match, and someone says something that can be interpreted?
Good ball.
In for Messi, flagged down, and he's got help on the inside, but cuts it back, and it's deflected to safety by Naldo.
Again, another instant of sublimity from Messi. Look at this build-up. There's nothing happening until the magic man says, feed me. He's offside. The flag stayed down for a long time. And that should have been called. But look at this. Hocus pocus. And leaves Luis Lopez with his knees on backwards.
Well, this is interesting also when it comes to VAR. Ball from Coutinho from the corner. Nodded down. If that had gone in as a goal, you wonder whether Espanol could have had an argument that VAR should have called the offside rather than let the play continue for Barca to get the corner. Part of the tinkering. Piqué staying up front, looking to hunt.
Magical again. The Brazilian exporting man reading that pass again. Visionary pass intended for Piqué. Wonderful player here again. There's the shadow going the wrong way. I've never seen that before. I've got 250 channels on my satellite television. I've never seen anything like that.
Lionel Messi, maybe because it's Espanol, who have in recent years had his number in the center of the bullseye, and maybe also perhaps from a frustrating performance with the Albiceleste. But Lionel Messi is on today.
The frustration came from playing with players that couldn't finish off the work that Messi laid before them. His performance was nothing less than a top performance, but let down by his teammates in a lot of circumstances. That doesn't really cover it. And Leo, in that same interview, stating that he doesn't feel as if the criticism of Argentina is wholly deserved, and he's pretty much stating we'll be all right come Copa America. We'll see.
Well, perhaps the most touching, the most humanizing aspect was when he said he had to sit down and talk to his son, who's saying, why does everyone not like you?
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be blaming Messi, and I guess...
Well, the Real Betis fans don't. He gets more appreciation from the fans in Betis than he does in Argentina press sometimes. That's the way it is.
A prophet in his hometown. 11th minute, far side. Keep an eye. Melendo has done well at this level before. Trying to find a bit of a gap, the mighty might. This is a relatively young squad for Espanol. Iglesias leading the front line, just 26. Pedrosa 20, Roca 22, Melendo 21. Lopez and Hermoso 22 and 23. Sprinkled in with a few veterans. Rakitic in disbelief. And as you mentioned, Ray, they got off to a great start this year.
The style of their football, the pattern of play was wonderful. Roca from Espanol.
Iglesias.
Nice
from Busquets. Don't forget, you can download your Ford beIN Sports Connect app from your app store today. Catch all of the action free and in full HD.
And a wonderful spank from Leo, over 80 yards. Stretching Espanol.
Again, Suarez stripped away Rosales. That cannon. Maybe more specific and accurate, the laser from Rosales. And there Piqué, who said he's having his best Barca season, and a lot would agree, because he's not playing for Spain. He's getting the chance to recover and rest, and at 32, arguably the best defender on the planet right now. Carlos Puyol says there is no doubt. Beautiful for Semedo, just denied. A chance at the top, blocked. Rakitic again.
Good first time effort by the Croatian there.
Coutinho. Arthur. Bodied away by Lopez. Free kick for Barcelona. 169 times prior in La Liga, these two teams have met. Barca convincing lead with 98 victories to just 34 for Espanol. There had been a lot of hope that this would be a different season, though, for the side from Cornellà. And all the way through week 11, Ray, only Barcelona was ahead of him in the table. They were in second place. But then the wheels came off.
Well, I don't know if they come off, Phil. They've been showing real good signs of improvement just lately.
Loose inside, stepping up Messi, poked away Melendo. Coutinho looking sharp. Back for Rakitic, who's now over on that left side. Alba. Nice defense and a chance with space, but quickly cut out by Longley. Something also maybe to mention when it comes to Piqué, the fact that he has played every minute of every La Liga game, but he's had to share that with 3 or 4 different back line mates.
Space here.
Coutinho to the 18. The return from Suarez. Coutinho keeps it in.
Just a little al dente with the return there, Suarez, and that's well kept in and fought for by little Phil.
Semedo back. Patience now from Barcelona. By the way, you can see the bright sunshine, although much of the field bathed in the shadows. Suarez trying to kick it to Coutinho, but he'd already moved.
I don't know if he is. I don't know if he's trying to just leave this one. He may be right, Phil, but either way, he may have done better just by dummying over that ball. And Coutinho arriving by stealth. Lovely ball into him as well. Oh, sharp again, man.
Messi rolls it back into the middle, but splitting the difference. Slams into Alba, who wasn't quite aware. Still not sure who it was that decked him, but slowly back to his feet.
A big next few weeks for Barcelona. Got a tough game, and they travel to Villarreal next week. I'll be on after this game with Andres Cordero. Looking forward to that match myself, watching the Yellow Submarine play, and then Atletico Madrid. So those 3 games could really put the league title well and truly to bed, if it's not already. But Barcelona still got Man United focus as well at Old Trafford coming up. So some really spicy, juicy football to be played for the Blaugrana fans.
You can mention mathematically possible before you hit the middle of April. They've already clinched La Liga and a chance to focus more in on the Copa and the Cup.
Amazing.
Nice. Messi back. Semedo across. Just past the flashing boot of Coutinho.
I don't think we've seen Leo Messi look as sharp all season long, and that is an ominous sign for the rest of this season. Absolutely scintillating with his decision, his touch, the pass, the movement, the balance. Better than a Greek belly dancer on a surfboard there. And nicely linking up with Nelsinho Semedo. But still duck eggs coming up to 20 minutes.
Roca. Victor Sanchez, the ex-Barca boy, pushing up the middle, but
good ball.
Sweeping it over Rakitic. Here's Pedrosa.
And that ball from Rosales, beautiful.
By the way, Ray, to finish your thought on that game coming up, is it's given right to the pirate Granero. Up for Melendo. The mighty might for Iglesias, drops it back into the 18, and well defended. It was Archer.
No, Longley, it comes to the rescue, I think, Phil.
Rosales.
May be right, but good invention and nice ball, and it's still alive for the Parrots.
And the Venezuelan will settle for the corner. Finish the thought about Valencia. Javi Calleja, since his return.
Again, this is a good run on the youngster, and that's a fabulous ball. Borja lays it off beautifully, and Langley comes to the rescue. There's that wonderful hocus-pocus from the voodoo man, Messi, creating something out of nothing.
Ray Andres saying, when you watch that Valencia game, or the Villarreal game, keep your eye on Manu Morlanes, the young 20-year-old midfielder who is tying everything together.
For Villarreal.
For Villarreal.
Yeah.
Short corners there. Archer ready to pounce. Far side, Abraham Alvarez trying to keep things calm. Melendo. 5 in the box. Suarez sneaks it away. And now a lunge, but the ball right back. Granero into the corner. Victor Sanchez, who's now played more years with Espanol than with Barca in his youth. Calm by Longley. Messi. Oh, on the hop, up for Suarez. Thighs it forward. 2 to beat. Rakitic has a go, and it's just wide.
Again, Messi starts all the dominoes falling, and as soon as he gets the ball, the Espanol defenders start making the sign of the cross on the chest, because they cannot stop him. That's an absolutely amazing ball from Messi, and he wanted it back from Suarez. He goes to the right for the Croatian, who catapults this one beautifully. Look at the technique. Look at that ball. There's no rotation in it because the technique of the strike through is absolute perfection. That's not accidental, people. That's amazing. But the control on the run from Messi, and then the recognition of where Suarez was in a blink of a bee's eye, out of this world.
Suarez back for Coutinho. Again, you see that little pocket starting to build in the middle for Messi if they can get it there. Another corner for Barcelona. Their third.
If it's a pocket, it's a clown's pocket for Leo.
Keeps
he is
pulling out goals.
Absolutely looking scalpel sharp here today.
Aldo again. Alba one touch.
Ooh.
Sneaks inside. The chance for Longley as Naldo caught by surprise.
Nice adjustment by Longley. It's a good pop on it. They're looking like a team that's 10 points ahead of the closest chaser.
Threaded in, Suarez. And if it kept running, it was Coutinho.
Great ball from Jordi Alba again. It's the quickness of his dispatch and the pop, knowing that the receiver is going to be able to control it. Take a look at this. He stings it, and that's great control. He's got to really put the extra pop on it to get it past Rosales.
Semedo with a burst. Messi in reserve. Sense the pressure. Eludes the defense. He's always putting extra bows on the presence today. Finds Busquets. Oh, just too far.
And the whole stadium expecting Busquets to go to the left, not him. Defies the logic and the expected, and turns into the players, and then tries to play the pass for Leo, who knew it was going to come, but was he just overhitting it? Diego Lopez hasn't had too much to cope with here. It's all been happening in front of him, and he'll be thanking his lucky stars for Naldo, who's having a good game in that number 5 shirt.
Early ball. But
PK saying that's miles offside. And he's got Iglesias open here. Take a look. It's probably offside. But there's Iglesias, free as a bird in the park, but not able to be found.
Coutinho trying to calm things down. Del Cerro Grande, a quick restart for Barca, though. Will it hold? Trying to save the goal kick. Suarez puts it away, but it had already crossed the back line. (26-2), 66 points, top of the table, and pulling away. Espanol, meanwhile, 14th place. If they do get the upset, could climb as high as 10th. A slip by Lopez as he sends it across midfield.
Red. Good play there by Suarez to find Coutinho, who wanted to put that into the cow's field for Jordi Alba and just cut out. All for this one against Granero. Jordi Alba. Busquets. Having to climb the ladder on the Barcelona, as well as they've played. This Espanol team, strong defensively, good understanding, big Borja, big Fulcher, hungry.
Whipped across, chested away by Suarez, blasted forward Alba, who gives chase. 37-year-old Lopez off his line.
Magic.
Drops it in nicely.
Oh, well played again.
At the edge of the area. Borja. Belendo. Again, under Rubi. Maybe the wins haven't been coming, but the style of play a lot different than in recent years. Of course, he got Huesca promoted playing this, but saw the writing on the wall and made the jump when he could. Battling Ford Pedrosa. It will be Barca throw-in. 6-3-2 their first 11 games, Ray, but then winning just 1 and losing 9 of the next 10. But as you pointed out, their last 7 games, they've only lost 1. So maybe through the rough stuff. And they're showing it here. For as good as Messi has been playing, it's still scoreless. They're the man that many thought would be sharing the spotlight today. Of course, Espanol bought a few years ago by Chen Yansheng, Chinese ownership, and they brought over Wu Lei. You've had the chance to watch him. It's more than just to sell jerseys. He has been outstanding this season as a scoring threat, and they have him in reserve today. Almost makes it through. Busquets for Messi. Naldo well out. Poked away. Hermoso over. And it will be Espanol ball. Ray, a huge hurdle for Espanol. The last 50 games at home, Barcelona have lost 1. Like a beach ball into the air and out for the throw-in. That one defeat, the 4-3 thriller against Betis back in November.
How's that not a foul? Rakitic says. Typical patience by Barcelona, working away, chipping away at it, and against these teams that sit so deep. It's 6 and 4 here in front of him. Aye, Semedo checked.
Now things getting a bit testy.
That formation, as time goes by, usually starts to develop cracks, and there's another one of them, but Espanol hanging in there like loose teeth so far. Good goalkeeper to beat as well. Enjoyed him. Big Diego when he was with Villarreal. So long. Wonderful goalkeeper.
Of course, much of his career at Real Madrid, so he knows what big matches against Barca are like.
He's Villarreal man more than Real Madrid.
Slapped up and over.
That's the advertisement. Again, making me look good. A wonderful keeper. And that's why he's played for the likes of Real Madrid and Milan, Sevilla, but it was his days at Villarreal, Phil. Scintillating in their best years.
In swinger, low near post, but flicked away by Borja. Battling for it was Granero, and Arthur gets his body in front all the way back to Ter Stegen.
Hasn't been too much on the ball here. Arthur hasn't seen too much of it.
And as you see, perfect 17.
A wonderful
for
compliment
17.
for Rakitic and Coutinho for sure. And Busquets. Different worker, and Coutinho in this 4-3-3 playing in that left side. You got Messi on the right, and both got similar roles, dropping back into the midfield to create. Oh, what a ball.
Ter Stegen again.
He bent it around as he steps through the ball, passes it. The wonderful strike there, people with your fancy machines. Go back and take a look at that. He bends it and strikes through the ball and bends it around Iglesias.
Coutinho trying to do the same with his body, but the ball poked free. Out comes Lopez, the 22-year-old right back. Chance for Melendo. Can he get there? Nice from Longley. We talk about Ter Stegen. There are many that think he might be the best goalkeeper on earth. Jogi Löw, not one of them, at least not yet. Still in the shadow of Neuer, but you sense with that German remake that might be changing.
Ooh.
Messi with something in mind. Coutinho against Suarez in the center. And the Uruguayan thought the Brazilian would check. Espanol back for Naldo.
It just amplifies that save by Diego Lopez as that ball came off a wicked deflection. And that readjustment of the 37-year-old was Nadia Comaneci reflexes.
hour to go in this game, counting the added time. And a big hello to all of you who have joined us from your various peñas, from whichever club. San Francisco, Cincinnati, New Jersey, South Florida, wherever you are, and also up in the great warming north. Thanks for making us part of your day. Busquets, Iglesias.
Got the feeling that it's going to take something a little special from this Barcelona side in order to open the lock. Here's the locksmith.
Pulls out the skeleton key, and a foul just outside the box.
I think Esteban Granero was very close to getting this ball. And in live time, it looked as if he'd poked it away from Leo, and Naldo agrees. We'll see who it is that the referee's identified. Another typical squirrel on a telephone wire run from Messi. I don't know what this is.
That was Borja, denied by Busquets.
There's a wonderful little run here, and he touches it past, and there's Granero comes in and takes the player. So Messi got the ball and was continuing his run. Take a look. It's almost simultaneous, to be quite honest, there on that angle, so it could have went either way. It looked as if, well, Esteban's still arguing the case, and he's got an axe to grind. It seemed to be both players touching the ball, but blink of a bee's eye goes to Messi.
So that Borja sliding pass attempt, if Busquets had not been there, you could call it luck, but Rosales was streaking in unmarked on the far side, so instead of a break for Espanol, it's a scoring opportunity for Barca.
Very little luck to do with Sergi Busquets, Phil.
The track record proves you right. Leaning to his left.
Ay, ay, ay.
Lopez on the line. Messi denied by the wall. Two players down. A wrecking ball of a challenge on that far flank. Take another look off the head of Marc Roca.
Tight derby. And all the lads there at SB Nation, the Barca Blaugranas, predicted this, and they're right. Wonderful article by Renato Gonçalves, laying the table for what is playing out before our eyes. Oh, well done, Renato.
And again, but for that 10-game stretch in the middle of the season, this would not be that much of a surprise. Mentioned just 3 points back of Barca after round 11. And whatever was wrong, Rubi's got it right. 8 minutes left in the opening half, and still scoreless.
I'd not be surprised to see the Parakeets grab a lead here.
Trying to force it free. Naldo tracks it down.
Look out.
Roca
Every time
wide.
this man gets the ball, he can drop a pint of beer into a thimble. The other opposite end of the bar. We've seen it for Venezuela, and we've seen it here today. The wonderful Roberto Rosales, 30-year-old now, Phil. Started at Caracas, and man, one of my favorite players to watch. Well played.
Oh, poked around Piqué, but up steps Semedo.
Well read.
Off the referee and right back to Espanol. That's the whistle from the crowd. Nice run. In comes Sanchez across, and Borja denied on the poke from Longley.
Wonderful covering from Longley, wrapping up Iglesias in cellophane here. He makes the right run. This is nice football again from Pedrosa, leading on. A nice little dagger ball presented for Sanchez, who comes across, and look, that's wonderful attacking football from Espanol in tit for tat with the defensive setup in front of Mats.
Busquets with his hands full. Back for Granero, can still serve a good ball, although can't get it over Piqué that time. Referee in the way, but Naldo at the second effort. quickly. Coutinho. Again to Busquets, who just plucks it out of the fire. And credit to Espanol. Last 6 meetings between these two teams at the Nou Camp, Barca have scored 25 goals and Messi has scored 11 by himself. Can't crack the dam yet. Suarez. Naldo. Messi. Behind Coutinho.
Lovely play from the ex-Barcelona man. Good hold-up play. Needs to be careful. Yeah, well played. Again, Iglesias waiting for help. And he finds the right pass, despite having 2 players on top of him.
Iglesias getting the forearm shiver from Langley.
This is the Thunder, the end of that lightning attack, and very close. Wonderful from even Rakitic, and that was wonderful build-up there from Messi and Suarez. Espanol fighting the good fight in their corner.
Trying to come around Rosales. Alba escorts it across.
Horrible things to wear, very intimate part of your body. As a footballer, eyes have started to make those holes around the eyes larger and larger as that carbon fiber becomes more and more resilient and strong. Good ball.
Out wide for Alba. A little ratty on that back line. Can Barca find an opening? Oh, almost, but it falls for Messi. Oh, his shot goes wide. Appeals for an offside flag, but it doesn't matter.
Busquets got 2 decisions here to make, and very, very quickly knows where to butter his bread. As it comes back to Busquets, beautiful control, sees the ball to the left and sees Messi. I think he's trying to find Jordi Alba, but it comes off the defender and sets the table for Leo.
And again, that's the new offside interpretation. If the defender makes a play on the ball, it resets things. So doesn't seem fair, but could have been ruled for Messi to be onside. The shot goes wide. It's supposed to be the simple game.
Yeah.
Subparagraph B, item 2. Hermoso retreats. 3 minutes left in the opening half.
Well, Barcelona started off like a bottle of champagne that was being shaken and shaken, and they've not went pop yet. Messi was at his radiant best in the early going as well for the first 25 minutes or so. But this Espanol seemed to have really ruled the waves. Not had too much up front, but they have lived dangerously and threatened.
Spanking it forward, Naldo. Borja off.
And tug of war. Good look at Borja. The typical embodiment of 100% commitment from this Espanol side. Finished 11th last year. Going to be there or thereabouts this season.
Suarez cut out well by Naldo. Borja trying to get a little tricky, and it might fall for him. They will get the free kick as Victor Sanchez taken down.
Good following on again. The captain seeing the ball fed up to Borja, and he's going to be there or thereabouts to support him. taking their opportunities, each and every one of them. Victor Sanchez and Marc Roca.
Sanchez,
Melendo, joining in, leaving that midfield to attack and support the big man up front. But it's been so far well protected by Barcelona.
Rosales keeps it in, but trying to do so takes it to Alba.
Lovely play from Langley.
Stens and Rakitic. Back for Ter Stegen, 26-year-old goalkeeper. Finding Langley. Still not capped by the full French team. Settled brilliantly by Alba. Sneaks it across, but cut out by Naldo again. Arthur. Semedo. Rakitic. And back to Alba. Line of 5 on top of the 18 for Barca. Headed wide and in the air for Lopez.
Defensive football again from this well-drilled Espanol side, making it difficult for Barcelona to get any sort of real dominance with their possession. It's been predominantly Barcelona, but they've been disruptive, the Parakeets. Another chance.
Coutinho, as the pressure mounts. 70% possession, 6-2 in shots, but none of the Barca shots have been on target. So credit to that Espanol defense for that. Rakitic out wide on that left, finding Alba. Down goes Coutinho in the box.
That ball had been played a little bit more in front of the Brazilian. It would have been serious danger. Jordi Alba pinging it in. It finds its way right in between Coutinho. Take a look again. And there, again, good defending by Marc Roca. Just doing enough, man. Admirable from Espanol. They come in here as big underdogs, and they'll be looking at this in the VAR room for a possible penalty. I didn't see anything too bad there to award a penalty, Phil, did you?
And neither did they. Santiago Jaime back in Las Rosas with the video, agreeing with the man on site. Arthur sneaks it forward to Alba. Look away pass from Rakitic. Alba with space. Naldo again. Well, Naldo up for man of the match honors defensively as this first half comes to a close. The Espanol Brazilian defender has been phenomenal, and the Espanol defense as well, holding mighty Barcelona at bay, scoreless at the break. On Espanol blood. Lots of fans from around the globe and some from right around the corner. Round 29 of La Liga Santander. First place Barcelona, 14th place Espanol. They've withstood everything Barca could throw at them in the first half. What wrinkle might there be in half number 2? Carlos Del Cerro Grande is ready to get us started. A few words from Lionel Messi, probably just reminding him over the finer points of the footballing laws. And Ruby halfway towards what could be a legendary victory. We are underway. Barca moving from right to left. The blue and white Parakeets defending in that direction. Phil Shane alongside Ray Hudson, Jose Hernandez, Jaime Macias on our Spanish language side, and we are glad that you have joined us. And Ray, talking about wrinkles after what looked to be everywhere but the scoreboard a nearly perfect half for Barcelona. What does Valverde do to get the ball in the net in the second?
Well, it's not Valverde that's out on the pitch. It's the other 11 players that he selected. Here's one that's got to improve. Certainly Coutinho and Suarez has got to show a little bit more better football. I mean, it's come down. They started the game absolutely radiantly. Unquestionably, they were at their best, but they weren't able to take advantage. But I think there's got to be an extra dynamic to Barcelona's play, Phil. They seem to have their boots on the right feet right at the start, but give all credit to Rubi's team. Woolley warms up, danger man for Espanol, and I think there's just got to be a little bit more quality at the end of each telling pass from Barcelona. It is there. We've seen it so many times for that first half, but still unable to crack Espanol's deep, well-drilled defensive setup. But I think Coutinho and Suarez need to sort themselves out. They've been finding each other's way a little bit more, so we'll see. Suarez and even Leo, as magical as he's been with his invention and touch, is a little bit off with his final catapult towards the net. So the rest of this half lining up to be laced with intrigue.
It's an 0 for 19 run against Barcelona in league play for Espanol. Just 4 draws since their last victory, but that last victory did come at the Camp Nou. Clement Longley out wide for Alba. And in fact, that also, Ray, was a scoreless draw at the half until the baby Buddha, Ivan de la Peña, scored 2 goals in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. And Espanol held on for the 2-1 win. Naldo. Rakitic. Coutinho.
Good ball.
Suarez tried to pull a Messi-like pass.
Now the run was there by Leo, injecting that dynamism, as I said, that was needed to open up that pretty static back line of Espanol. And if the pace is needed, in Valverde's opinion, and certainly got it in Dembele. Nice ball. So swing back.
Well, no changes from the 22 on the pitch.
Nicely.
Semedo, delicate, but over the diminutive Brazilian, and Alba can't find the aim.
No changes, and no changes in the pattern of play either. Both Nelson Semedo and Jordi Alba pushing very, very high in this attack of Barcelona and creating a number of opportunities, but none of them taken yet.
Beautiful from Granero, but the pass needed to be better. Something we've talked about, Ray, with Borja Iglesias. He doesn't need much of an opening. Maybe not exactly Luis Suarez-like, but he can be elusive.
Well played, good feet.
Semedo, maybe the best we've seen him in Barca colors. Well read Hermoso.
Oh, ball.
Up steps Rakitic. Coutinho. Alba champing at the bit. Naldo again. Of course, even Oscar Melendo, the young right-sided midfielder, remember back January a year ago in a scoreless game in the Copa del Rey, scored a winner in the 88th minute.
Good cover by Horta there. Reading that little bit of exchange between Coutinho and Busquets and Alba. But coming as a nice insurance policy there, Horta, and it all leads to this.
Semedo. Suarez trying to break free of the Brazilian. That textbook pass, but on the wrong page to Alba.
Well, I've seen some little bit more dynamic runs into the box, and I'm sure that's what Valverde will have been asking his players a little bit more of. And it's a bad giveaway. Good ball.
Barca pounce. Around comes Suarez. Tries to bring it back to his right foot. All right, as Rosales goes upfield.
Play.
Is this a bit of the FIFA flu? An international break causing problems for Barca?
Yeah, they look absolutely woeful, don't they, Phil?
Exhausted.
Like they're playing in molasses. They've been absolutely sparkling with their football in so many ways, but nothing at the end of it. And give a bit of credit to the blue and white team. They're not a set of Charlies out there. They're just putting down a real good dam of backline players that all know each other and are moving off each other nicely. But Barcelona playing their patient possession and sprinkled in some wonderful invention. But it's football. Certainly they need one or two players to start finding that extra sharpness and that little bit of quality, I would say, with the final telling ball. Even Alba has looked as if, and we've seen it in the early going, they're signed off from Leo. I don't think it has anything to do with that part of following on. They don't look tired to me. They just can be a little bit more energized. Look at this.
Messi lifting it up for Suarez. Naldo in the way. Rosales and Coutinho battle.
Oh,
Back for the Brazilian. Coutinho onside, but calm under pressure Hermoso, and the late flag does pop up.
a nice play from Coutinho with Jordi Alba. How he gets this one through. Look at this. He's offside all right, but amazing vision from Jordi Alba to set him up. Yeah, frustrating 52 minutes for Barcelona fans, and for Espanol fans, they're loving it.
Ball pops up off the arm, but no chance for a handball. Roca switches. Semedo, and the whistle late from Del Cerro Grande.
And he's certainly been offering a lot to the attack, and mirror opposite here on this side as well with Jordi Alba. And unquestionably Suarez and Coutinho need to find a little bit more telling edge to their game and a little bit more final product. Good play again. Nice run.
Chance for Borja with a little edge against Longley. Iglesias.
Good play.
Sticks it in. Melendo turns, but he can't get it past Ter Stegen.
Wonderful turn from the youngster. Scored the late winner against Barcelona in the Copa del Rey semi-finals, remember. And he'd love to have lit this one up. It's a lovely turn as he looks towards heaven and curses it with his bootless cries. Lovely turn though. He's just fallen back, it seemed, a little bit before he could get the full crack. Look out.
Rakitic. Coutinho.
Nicely.
To Messi. Oh, rattles around, pinballed away by Naldo. His 9th clearance. Rakitic passes off Messi to Alba. The ball still doesn't go in the net, and the flag would have saved them anyway.
As it's done a number of times, and Alba saying, what's wrong with this? Well, we will see. Again, constant danger down this left side. Semedo on the other. He's got late arriving targets as well. And right there, when the ball struck, it's just a half a step offside. And why the flag didn't go up then, I don't know. And that's why this one is the one that leads to, you can just see, I think, very, very close. There's been some strange decisions, Phil. That one was extremely close.
I think that might have been Pedrosa coming all the way back to prevent it from going in regardless. Play to the whistle and beyond. And Barca finding another way not to score. An Edison-like performance, but can they light the lamp? 7 shots, none on target, and that one didn't even count. Luis Lopez. Rosales.
Magic.
One touch from Busquets, and the Barca world goes right. Victor Sanchez, who joined La Masia the same year as Busquets.
Aye, aye.
Piqué with a touch to safety.
Better run from Coutinho there. Not supplied.
By the way, Ray, coming up after we talked in the first half of Celta Vigo, Villarreal, and the Yellow Submarine just lifting the periscope above the drop line. 4 points clear of Celta, who might go down, but they do get Iago Aspas back. That game coming up immediately following this one on beIN Sports. And then surprising Alaves against Atletico to close things out on the day. Ball in for Suarez. Naldo again. Levante Eibar tomorrow to start things out. Busy day. Rayo Betis, Sevilla, Valencia.
Good run.
In comes Semedo.
Magic.
Trickles away. Was it touched across?
It's a wonderful run from Nelsinho again. Skips the leg fantastic. Feet continuing to dance. Lovely little touch by here. Whoa.
No real intent to play, and I think Pedrosa might have gotten away with
Now
one.
the ball's a little bit away from him. It shouldn't matter, but right there, that's very close. But it can be argued that it was almost shoulder to shoulder. The youngster reaching in. Pedrosa has that lovely touch and push back and saved on the line, but it was called off and away anyway. Well played at the other end by Pedrosa.
Rounding out the schedule, Real Valladolid against Real Sociedad tomorrow in the noon hour Eastern time, and then Real Madrid with a lot of rotation under Zinedine Zidane against Huesca. And some midweek games as well, so busy time of the season in La Liga as the international break is over.
Continues for Barcelona as Busquets tries to get this one back, and Rakitic dives in, and that's a certain foul. There's the subs coming in, and that little bit extra injection coming Barcelona's way. Certainly could do with it, and they wanted pace and a little bit of invention. Malcolm finally gets his chance.
You figure, well, that's going to be for Arter numerically. Does Coutinho drop to the midfield? And it looks like that will be the case. Meanwhile, straight swap, Semedo out, Sergio Roberto in at right back. So would imagine Coutinho drops alongside Rakitic, and Malcolm joining Messi and Suarez on the front line.
Well, nothing wrong with his performance. It played very well in my eyes. Wonderful display of attacking football and constant danger. Exhibited nicely by Semedo. Portuguese lad played well. But I needed a shake-up, and the trust continues in Coutinho. So see if he repairs that faith.
So 2 of the 3 substitutes have been made. 9th appearance for Malcolm in league play. 8 of them off the bench, and he's still awaiting his first league goal. Did have one in Champions League play.
Yeah, pretty important one, that as well.
Beating or tying Inter back in November. Sergio Roberto, meanwhile, just his 4th appearance off the bench and his 22nd game overall. You see a substitute ready for Espanol. Looks like Wu Lei ready to set Chinese hearts aflutter, and maybe a few parakeets as well. Well, an hour in, will he be the man? Again, if you would have told Ruby scoreless at 60, he would have taken it. Longley. Sloppy. Rosales.
And that check run though by Malcolm is inviting. That's what Messi will be looking for. And that quickness of Malcolm. Certainly been starving for chances. It's a great opportunity for Malcolm to come in and really put his fingerprints on this game, because it has been more of the same in this second half, and no real reaction by Barcelona's creators.
12 goals his last season with Bordeaux in league play, still looking for his first in Spain.
It's a testing of Diego Lopez that is probably the most frustrating of all the other nice touch play. Look out.
Suarez in, poked across.
Unlucky.
Still in play though. Malcolm for Alba.
It's well played by Coutinho.
Messi with the little heel flick. Iglesias.
Nicely.
Smart from Longley. Alba taps it back. Coutinho.
Nicely.
Weds it. Malcolm. And I think Lopez gets a touch.
Oh, he definitely gets a touch, but I think Malcolm, he sees Suarez at the back post, and, well, we'll see. Is this an intentional pass, or is it a shot at goal? Wonderful from Coutinho. Lovely setup there. Suarez waiting like a hungry hawk, looking for his dinner on the back post, but a great save again by Lopez.
Headed away, Naldo. And it was a youngster on that flank, Pedrosa, who kept Malcolm onside. Good work by Barca, denied by brilliant work from Lopez. Pedrosa. Piqué almost sneaks in.
A good confidence booster for Malcolm. Either way, right here. See, is that a pass towards Suarez, or is that an intentional shot? You make your minds up, people. I can't tell either way, but it was a question thrown towards Diego Lopez as the man from China arrives for the battling Borja Iglesias. There's pace and there's skill, and here it's full of Eastern promise from Roulet.
Roulet picked up in the winter window from Shanghai, where he scored a goal better than every other game. He's only scored one since making the move to Espanol. That was against Real Valladolid earlier this month, but he has been dangerous both from the flank and in the middle. Bursting his lungs, Sergio Roberto, and the ball trickles to Lopez. Roca. Wu bumped from behind by Piqué, and the Espanol contingent in the upper reaches gives a little cheer, and they will even more, because something wicked this way comes. Veteran Sergio Garcia, another ex-product of La Masia. He was there to welcome Gerard Piqué back in his first stint. Through the legs of Alba. The spin takes it wide, and they will make the switch. So fresh legs both in Wu and Garcia. And taking the long walk, the youngster Oscar Melendo. Longley had to keep it in play.
Busquets just doing enough to get that much needed touch.
All the way into the area.
The Barcelona fans now trying to get some energy going behind that goal, trying to suck the ball into the net. It may be needed.
Judging from the opening 5 or 10 minutes, it seemed like a case of how many, not if. So full credit, Espanol somehow keeping the dam standing. Messi back to his left. Can't find the target. Lopez blocks.
Kind of little static for anything that Leo's looking for ahead of him. It's what Malcolm has been brought in for, that little bit more dynamic run into that area alongside of Suarez. Ball.
Coutinho. Rakitic again whistles just wide.
Again, better runs, better movement, good setup, good hammer blow. It had been on the other side of Malcolm, that might have been heading towards the net. It's been that type of game. A lot of ifs and buts.
I talked about that win back in February of 2009 where Ivan de la Peña was the Espanol hero. That's the only victory for Espanol in their last 43 trips to the Nou Camp. At the moment, on track for a point. In that 43-game span, just 5 draws. They've been nearly perfects today defensively. Ball in, tackled away. Rebound falls for Coutinho, who can't get it to fall in the net.
Goes for placement and maybe could have struck through the centre of the ball a little better. Take a look. He starts it and he wants to finish it. Eventually it comes back to him. And there's that placement with the inside of his foot from this angle. Maybe he just rifled it through. But some whistles going around the stadium at that final effort from little Phil. At a ball.
Advantage played. Suarez finds Messi. Late run coming from Coutinho. He tries to get the pass away, impeded by Sanchez just outside the area.
Yeah, and this one hurts Leo because he's just about to strike through it. And Victor Sanchez recognizes the man's just about to cock his trigger and pull it. Wonderful run by Leo. And Victor Sanchez recognizes the danger man here. Wonderful little touch, and that's an intentional hack right through Leo from the ex-Barcelona man. Been here since 2012. A lot of memories about Messi himself, and he knows he's going to have to sacrifice something for his team here, and he does it the illegal way, but he gets the job done and sets the table for Messi. This is very, very close to the 18-yard box line, Phil, and it takes something special. We've seen Leo do the Barnes-Wallace trick, the bouncing bomb downstairs to break the dam. Messi is a dam buster. Let's see if Espanol throw that player down on the deck behind the wall. If it does jump, doesn't look as if they're going to. You can never tell till the moment. Here it comes.
18 yards and a handful of inches away. 6 in the wall. Lopez leaning to his right. Near post gaping. Suarez is there, but it will be Messi. The Cerro Grande trying to make sure the wall does not cheat too far forward. He's done it before. many times. Messi approaches, lifts. Sanchez tried to block it.
He's soft-handed the touch. This is exquisite from Messi. Look at the delicacy of this. It's softer than candlelight with his placement. And he makes that wall just disappear like tissue being lit by a flamethrower. It's Messi again. Right, left, or centre, and he picks the exquisite way through. And there's nothing Victor Sanchez can do. Look at this again, the softness, the delicacy of Messi. He could shave a mouse in its sleep. When he's got, man alive, that is out of this world. And Sanchez basically runs into it. It's too late when he sees it. Stupefyingly magnificent again. The complexities of the free kick challenge. And he bends them all to his incredible will. Messi again, the medicine man, arrives and sinks his flaming spear into the hearts of the neighbours.
Victor Sanchez and Diego Lopez, a bit of a bark at each other. Lopez flying out here, and it looks like Luis Suarez paying the price. Granero getting a yellow. We'll have to take this one back. Not sure if Lopez could have gotten it if Victor Sanchez didn't, but it looked like, as you said, Messi delicately placing that one where it was nearly unstoppable.
Wonderful claiming, absolutely no intention by Diego Lopez to cause malevolence towards Suarez, and they both know it, and no harm done, hopefully, to either man. Wonderful run by Suarez, just got away from him, but beautifully anticipated by big Diego. But again, Messi comes to the rescue in his own inimitable way.
30th goal of the season.
Blocks of matches, and you play with fire, you're gonna get burned. And Victor Sanchez presented Leo with an opportunity that he decorated in his own amazing way.
Foot race, and Malcolm finding fifth gear. Suarez stumbling over. Messi sending it over.
Good run by Coutinho behind him, and maybe Leo might have done better by dummying over the top of this one. Lovely setup by Malcolm. And there's the lead, and there's the alacrity. There's the recognition, the late arriving targets, and right there you see Coutinho a little disappointed that one doesn't come to him, but Messi's never going to shy away from that. Feeling this a little bit now, he'll be all right. He took a nasty heavy whack.
And as did Suarez, and Suarez's knees already.
It's a heavy challenge, that. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, and there's a player you cannot afford to lose. The 1-0 credit to the medicine man again. He seems to salve all wounds for Barcelona when needed. It's nothing less than he deserves. After that opening salvo, as you said, Phil, looked as if it was going to be his night and a memorable one. But this Espanol team still got a real sting in their tail. So Barcelona need to keep on that heavy watch behind them.
On the day where he jumped into the all-time top 30 in La Liga games played with his 445th. One of the more delicate free kicks in Lionel Messi's career, giving Barcelona the edge with 15 minutes to go.
Played Rakitic.
Messi eludes. That one just trickling out as Coutinho couldn't keep it in. And Ray, you look up that list of all-time games played, and there's Zubi, there's Raul, Sacristan. Sooner or later, Lionel Messi is going to hang it up. He turns 32 in the summer. But having what many would have as a career year this season. So hopefully no time soon. And in that article you talked about, he still has the fire to win something for Argentina. Left-footed away, make that by Sergio Roberto. Lifted forward, chance for Garcia. Sweeps in. Wu can't get there as he's held off and offside on the first pass.
Good run, good football again by Ruby's men. The two substitutes at the heart of it. Lovely little dink ball, and that's very close again. Sergio Garcia being kept offside evidently by Longley, but it was decidedly close, and that's a great attempt by the man from China to stab this one home. Longley doing an admirable job wrapping him up, but very close as Victor hears the boos, the ex-Barcelona man.
Now all parakeet. Alpha Semedo from Guinea-Bissau on loan from Benfica checking in. So each team with a Benfica Semedo, no relation. This just his second game in the blue and white, and here he is. Lifting in, Piqué. Harassing Pedrosa.
Oh, no. Somewhere Shakira is certainly shaking him back home. That's absolutely outstanding play from our husband there. Beautiful, audacious defending by Piqué.
Well, now with Espanol forced out of their shell a bit.
Good run on the outside if he can spot it, and he does.
The curl just taking it too far.
Just overhit by Rakitic. Great run by Sergio Roberto. And here we see it. Cometh the moment, cometh the man. Don't recognise his talent, people. Curtsy to it. That should come with a health warning, because it will give you physical arousal for more than 4 hours. Magic.
Don't call your doctor.
Diego Lopez thinks that Victor Sanchez is going to get it away, and Sanchez maybe thought that Diego was going to spring and catch it, but neither one of them knew if they needed a shave or a haircut once that Messi sent his Surat dot towards the canvas.
Well, he tried to avoid the goal-scoring chance by committing the foul, but anytime Messi is that close, it's a goal-scoring chance. Back to Ter Stegen. So Barca on the verge of its 21st win and could climb up to 69 points, which at least temporarily would be a 13-point gap on second place Atletico. So pretty much 5 games with only 9 games remaining to play.
Yeah, the next 2 are the ones that will be putting it way out of the distance of anybody.
There's our Ford Man of the Match candidates.
A very tough one at Villarreal next week, and Atletico, and they are good 4 candidates for the Ford Man of the Match. Look out!
Ball inside, still loose, and from the ground, cleared by Longley.
I don't know if Longley is in there for Ford Man of the Match, but his performance has been a GT performance. Anybody knows Ford GT, what a car that is, but Longley has been absolutely up to snuff here today. What a great performance across the back.
And Hermoso with an Hermoso performance, keeping it away from Messi. The Cerro Grande wants to get this final change in. Coutinho exits. Arturo Vidal, fresh from his performance against the U.S. for Chile, on the field for Barcelona.
Again, Longley has been here, there and everywhere. It's been one of them games where if you told him to be there, be square, he'd be both. Just absolutely top of the draw performance from Longley tonight, keeping out the World Cup winner Umtiti.
And again, his performance may be an emergency at the start of the season, but so solid and calming, they're now talking about transferring Umtiti. Down goes Suarez.
Yeah, I agree with Leo. It should have been a card against Pedrosa. This one just about to pick his pass to the next domino, and they were ready to fall one after another.
.69% possession, 12-3 in shots, but a slim lead with 7 minutes left in regulation, although their foot firmly on the throttle, if not the throat. Foul behind the play. Rakitic taken down. Sixth free kick goal for Messi against Espanol. The 19th he has scored in the last 5 league seasons.
Well, still a tentative lead here now as the Sands slowly go through the hourglass. The threat unquestionably still there for Espanol. Wonderful inventors in Garcia and a danger man in Woolley. I'm looking for the insurance second one, but it ain't going to come. You said, Phil, that it would take something special in this game as the game went on, and it was always going to be Messi, but that one again keeps on inventing these ways to goal, and indescribable variety in the man's play.
Will it stay?
Touch. Tackle.
Out wide for Rosales, the Venezuelan, victorious over Messi midweek. But in league play, Messi trying to turn the table. Appeals.
Well won.
But no
Good
foul
ball.
on Garcia.
Nice touch back.
Vidal.
Good play this.
Suarez with Messi lurking. Touches it around for Malcolm.
Lovely movement. I'm so spoiled with that sort of thing that you see from this team.
Alba again. Heard the footsteps of Malcolm. Goal kick.
Made a difference since he's come in. Nothing at the end of it so far. But the longer these types of talented players stay at Barcelona, it seems they grow into it. And there hasn't been too many opportunities for Malcolm under Valverde. But you see it in the likes of Longley in particular. I know it's a different kettle of sharks altogether when you're looking at Malcolm and the defender, but there's players that seem to truly adapt a short amount of time. Langley is a great example. Will Malcolm be given that opportunity to grow in? I think they will. But Coutinho, that might be a different set of circumstances.
There's the 13-point gap. Of course, Atletico at Alaves, which is not a gimme this year, especially on the road. And that coming up to close out the day following Celta Vigo and Villarreal in a relegation duel that marks Iago Aspas's return. Ter Stegen a bit fortunate. Burst of speed from the Croatian, pulled back by Pedrosa, who will get a commemorative card for his effort. Third caution against Espanol. What a fluke that would have been. And still the thread that Barca holds. Wide, but too hard for Malcolm.
I needed to be more accurate in defeat. And he says his apologies, but a good run by Malcolm, and the invite was there. Again, Messi with his usual voodoo tricks on that right side. Just asking Espanol, do they want to dance? Let me show you my paso doble, and he did it again. Man from Argentina. One.
Again for Ruby. This is just the second defeat in their last 8 games. And Ray, I think against 18 other teams in La Liga, it would have been a better result. Those other 18 teams don't have Lionel Messi. Granero. Rosales. Lopez back for the Pirate.
Good play.
Semedo.
Nicely.
Garcia. You knew what he was trying to do, but off the wrong side of the laces. Oh, beautiful. And that's going to stay for Malcolm.
Got the targets inside.
Suarez wanted it first time. Instead, it's Messi. Instead, it's brilliant.
Always the solution to any problem that's presented. And Malcolm is magisterial with the service. It's lovely, unhesitant, joyous football from Barcelona. This is grandiose football, people. And Messi's the thunder and the lightning at the end of this rabbit hole attack that's spread throughout the pitch. You've heard of adrenaline, right? That's what it looks like in the physical form. Beautiful play, typical Barcelona, embroidered every stitch of the way. Wonderful from Ter Stegen to set it off. Rakitic and Messi play a rat-a-tat-tat 1-2. Malcolm's already identified the spot. Naldo sees Messi, but it's like tackling it and wrestling with a ghost. Messi again, magisterial. And like playing poker with a witch, you're gonna lose. Football's bird of paradise again in full flight, but what a Barcelona team goal, Phil. The moxie of Barcelona in the way they stitch their passes together. His name rhymes with pure finishing. Messi. Well, it does to me.
So Malcolm finds Messi in the middle, who now has 31 goals, 41 in all competitions, and he's cracked the 40-goal mark each and every year for the past decade now. The first player in La Liga history to do so. Malcolm with that play, and again, it was Messi working with Rakitic, then Messi working with Malcolm. But what he's done off the bench here today, as well as Coutinho played, Malcolm coming in and making a difference.
Don't underestimate this man's touch on the ball as well. Rakitic has had a wonderful game. Foul here, but it was his quick identifying of the 1-2 after Mats had hurled it out. Marc-Andre ter Stegen is again involved nicely, but that's a big confidence booster for this man who has had precious little opportunities under Valverde. Answered the bugle big time, and you could see in his face grinning like a Cheshire cat as he came towards Messi.
Two goals of a Messi-like caliber, the free kick and then the finish. Maybe the chance for a hat-trick with a different call, but there's still time. 2 minutes left of added time as Barcelona, again, in an Ernesto Valverde-like competent way, walking away with a 2-0 victory and 3 points in their pocket. Alba. And for Ruby now, Espanol will lick their wounds and welcome Getafe. And then another Catalan derby at Girona. And then Alaves. So even with Barcelona, 3 tough matches to come.
Imagine being up there in those stands or watching that whole sequence of passing develop from right up there in row XXX on the lip of this magnificent cathedral, looking down and seeing that. I mean, somewhere Gaudi's smiling, because that goal was absolutely, it broke all the rules and did it from literally 1 6-yard box to another. A sequence of passes that was just pure glitter bomb football. And the craziest thing about it is, people, it just looks normal for this team. It looks as if, and that's why I think a lot of Barcelona fans get disappointed when they're not absolutely playing at that Maria Callas concert pitch level every game of every season.
Into the area looking for a goal of honor.
Well played, Vidal.
With a nation on his back. Ball deflected, handball off Rakitic, free kick, and maybe the final play of the match. And Ray, you talk about it, not only they're competing with themselves,
yeah,
they're competing with the memories. Jaded might not be the word, accustomed may be better, but any other club on earth pulls off a goal like that. But for Barca, it's commonplace.
Yeah. Where the amazing becomes the predictable, as I've said numerous times, and the impossible, the expected. It's some defending to be done here, though, as the parakeets look to come out and peck them.
Looking to try and lock down a clean sheet. Something they haven't done since the Clásico. Granero into the wall, and the final whistle blows. Barca climbs the mountain over Espanol thanks to Lionel Messi's late brace.
Again, Messi, the gangster, and he gave an Al Capone type performance today. They'll all be wanting his shirt after this. I think I've got one coming. Messi at his magnificent best, and Messi at his ruthless mountain. The man of the match, there's only one and only for Ford. Again, a Ford GT performance from an absolute wonderful player, and the respect shown to the youngster by Leo.
Lionel Messi, even without the beard, looking quite dangerous on the day, and Barcelona extends its.
How was Spain?